Grading charts and reports is an essential part of Spider Impact to help visualize performance. Before I build them from scratch, I'll review objects that have already been developed. On the primary navigation pane on the left, I'll select Charts and Reports. I'll click on Mobile World and choose Select. I see a listing of 5 reports that have already been developed. At the top, I have a red Kpis report, which will show me only the most concerning performance for a given period of time. In the top right, I see that I'm looking at June 2020 activity, and I see Kpis in the red that I might need to drill down to get more detail on by clicking on the name. In addition to that, I can toggle in the top right to see month-by-month activity. If looking at only red Kpis depresses me too much, I might switch over to the Financial Overview report, which gives me all performance activity for just financial Kpis. This provides month-by-month activity for the past year, and I can drive the last month in the report with the toggle in the top right, and I'll go back to May, and then return to June. After reviewing a couple of the existing reports, I'll try building a few on my own. To start, I'll select the New Report option. I immediately get prompted with an option to pick a report type. On the left, there are 8 out-of-the-box scorecard reports that I could select from, including the red Kpis report, which I reviewed quickly earlier. On the right is an out-of-the-box initiative report, along with 3 more advanced reports that I'll review in more detail later. I'll select red Kpis report, but before I click Next, I'll make note of the fact that at the bottom is a guide that there is a 3-step process to create the report. The first of which is choose a type. I'll now click Next and see that the next step is to select scorecard item. On the left, I'll select Financial within the Mobile World organization. On the right, I could pick and choose which elements I want by expanding and collapsing. But I actually want everything, so I'll select Financial Profit and Loss, click on that, and then select Next. The third step is to select the calendar periods to display and choose the data to view. I'll start by changing to see 3 months of data on this report. So I'll switch from current period to 2 periods earlier. And I'll leave current period on the right. Lastly, I'll remove description and owners as display columns. And then I'll click Finish at the bottom. Since I selected 3 months of activity, I'm seeing all Kpis that contain a red value in any one of the 3 months that are displayed. Interest and bank charges, for instance, display since I had a red value in April and May, even though it was green in June. Since I'm liking how this is looking, I'll select Save in the bottom right. And I'll just change the name to Red Kpis Training. And then click Save. Note that if I had selected just current period, some of the Kpis would disappear. To prove that out, I'll select Edit in the bottom left. Within the Row Filters section, I'll click on Color and change to current period to current period. And then select Done. I'll make the same change in the Date Range section by selecting Edit, switching to current period again, and click Finish. If I wanted to change the columns that appear on the report, like adding the scorecard item type, I could click on Edit within that section, add that particular column, select Next, and Finish. But since I have no columns I actually want to add right now, I'll select Cancel. To accept the change to the date range, I'll select Save in the bottom right, and then select Done. Notice that the report has gotten smaller, as just KPIs that are red in June now appear. Getting more confident in my report writing skills, I'll build a new report completely from scratch. To start, I'll select the New Report option once again. This time, from the Choose a Type dialog, instead of picking one of the out-of-the-box reports, I'll select Report Writer and click Next. Under Choose Columns, I see that Name is the only column added by default. On the right, I'll select Color, KPI Value, and Goal, and then select Next. For the time period, I'll leave the default of Current Period and select Next. Lastly, for row filters, I'll select Add. I see it defaults to the most popular option of specific scorecard items, which is exactly what I want. So I'll select Next. On the left, once again, I'll select Financial. And on the right, I'll include the entire financial profit and loss scorecard by clicking Add. That filter is now applied at the top. An important item to note is that the default for Cascade in the top right is to include descendants of this scorecard item, which is the level selected and on down. If I were to deselect that, I would get a high-level report summarizing the entire financial profit and loss performance to just one row. Since that wouldn't be too fruitful, I'll leave the default, select Done, and then select Get Report. I now see a detailed performance of the entire financial profit and loss scorecard for the month of June. In the top right, I can toggle back and forward between months. I can get a better visual on color performance by hovering over one of the numbers. I could drill down to a particular item by clicking on a name. I can also sort the report by clicking on a column header, like the KPI value. If I click on it again, it'll sort in descending order, with my best performing at the top. And if I click it again, it will restore it to the original view. I'll now click Save in the bottom right. And this time I'll just accept the default name of Report Writer. If I don't like something on the report, I can select Edit in either the bottom left or the top right. To change the filter, I can click on the existing one to edit it, or click on the X in the top right to remove it. If I want to add a new filter that allows me to also see all my customer support items in addition to financial, I'll click Add. Once again, I'll accept the default of specific scorecard items and click Next. I'll click Customer Support on the left, select Add next to Customer Help Desk, and if I didn't know anything about logical operators, I could merely click Done save, and then done, and then weep as I notice that I've broken my report. So I'll go back to edit to figure out what went wrong. Under closer examination, I see that the default relationship between filters is AND. Unfortunately, there is no case where a scorecard item contains both financial and customer in the same row. To fix that, I'll need to introduce an OR by clicking on the second filter that I just added, and then enable the Add to Existing Filter as an OR option in the bottom left. I'll then click Done. I'll confirm the word OR now displays in the row filter section, which it does. I'll then click Save, and then Done, and verify that the customer support KPIs now display. With that fixed, I'd like to build one more report that allows me to do a mass edit, such as quickly changing the updater for a number of KPIs. To illustrate this, I'll select New Report, Report Writer, and then select Next. Under Choose Columns, I'll add Updaters and select Next. Under Current Filters, I'll select Add, accept the default of specific scorecard items, and click Next. On the left, I'll select Demo. And on the right, I'll select Financial and click Add. I'll select Done and Get Report to view it. I see that Frank Ziemba is the updater of all the KPI items. Now, if I'm feeling lazy and don't wish to be responsible for these KPIs any longer, on the bottom right, I'll select Mass Edit. An additional column appears on the left of the report. To select all of the items, I'll click on the top box and select Edit Selected Items in the bottom right. From the drop-down arrow, I'll select Updaters, towards the bottom, within the Updaters section, I'll select Tom Keating to kindly pass all of this work over to him and click Save. Now that's made the change, as I see up in the top. To visually get the satisfaction of seeing that Tom has been added, I do need to click Done. Once I click Done, I can confirm that the change has been made. Now, if I want to be nice, I can go back to Mass Edit. Select the top left box, select Edit Selected Items, select Updaters, select Remove the following updaters, select Tom again, select Save, and notice the change has been made, but again, to confirm that visually, I'll click Done in the bottom right. And I do indeed that Tom has been let off the hook there. If I'm done with my changes, I can click Save, give it a name of Updaters, and click Save. If I wish to revisit those changes in the future, Mass Edit is still available in the bottom right. Okay, with that we are done with building reports. Unfortunately, there's no rest for the weary. I still have a bunch of charts to build. I'll start by taking a quick look at a few charts already developed. The first one shows a 13-month trend of total gross profit as a line. The next one shows it as a bar. And the third one shows product revenue, training revenue, and book revenue as a pie chart. These are by far the most popular chart types, but if I was more adventurous, I could click Edit and take note that I have a number of other options out there, like stacked bar, donut, and polar chart. Once I'm ready to build a chart from scratch, I'll select Done, and then click the New Report option once again. This time from the Choose a Type dialog, I'll select Chart Writer and click Next. For the periodicity, I see that it defaults to a full year. I'll keep that and select Add Series. On the left, I'll select the demo organization. On the right, I'll expand this out and just accept the total gross profit KPI. Before selecting Done on the bottom left, I'll note that there is a series option that defaults to actual value. That can be changed to red flag, goal, and score at the KPI level. Now, if I were to switch to an objective level or higher level, note that in the bottom left, only score is available to me because that's the only item that is applicable at that level. I'll go back to total gross profit and ensure that it's back to actual. At this point, I'll click Done. Now, there's a number of other settings that I can change within this, but I'll leave all the defaults and select Finish in the bottom right. If I like the way it looks, I'll click Save, provide a name for it, like Chart Training, and select Save once again. Now, at this point, I may want to change the display to include red, yellow, green background thresholds. To do so, I'll select Edit in the bottom left. Towards the bottom, under Background Thresholds, I'll select Total Gross Profit to apply it. I'll then click Save and Done to view the changes. I can now plainly see that total gross profit is performing in the green or yellow in each of the 13 months on the display except for the month of June. Finding that pretty simple to do, I'm now going to tackle creating a combination bar and line chart with two KPIs. To do that, I'll select New Report again. I'll then select Chart Writer and click Next. I'll accept the default period and click Add Series. On the left, again I'll select the demo organization. On the right, I'll select the total gross profit KPI. I'll then select Done. To introduce another item, at the top I'll select Add Series. On the top left, I'll make note that I'm not locked into just scorecard items. I could click on Initiative and introduce one of them. However, since I'm happy with scorecard items, I'll leave that as is. In the bottom left this time, I'll switch actual value to score and select Done. I'll switch the graph to a bar, select Axis on the right to avoid a number scale conflict, and select Finish. I now see a combination graph that is charting actuals as a line and a normalized score as a bar. If I hover over a bar, I can see the values for both KPIs. The same information is available in the table at the bottom. I'll select Save 2 times to save the chart. Having tackled both reports and charts, I'm now ready for the grand finale of leveraging a SQL report. To do so, I'll select the New Report button once again. This time from the Choose a Type dialog, I'll select SQL Report and click Next. I'll type some query like select first name, last name from users, where first name like Frank. And this will do a check to see if there's anybody else in the system with the same first name as me. I'll click Finish and see that unfortunately, or fortunately as the case may be, there is not. This SQL report can obviously be leveraged in a number of different ways, but for now, I'll leave it at that.